Something smooth yet sinister, coming through to diminish you. And this here's the finisher. Check it out.
What is going on, guys? It's your boy Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And today for you guys, what we're going to get into is a long overdue video, alright? But it's going to be the Tilith trial, alright? I had to go ahead and get this video knocked out for you guys so I can go ahead and move on to the next video in our series, which I'm going to be aiming to knock out the next trial, which is the Genius Challenge, alright? So you do have to do this one first in order to get to the Genius Challenge, so I had to knock it out. So let me go ahead and break down to you folks how you're going to complete this trial, alright? So there's 3 phases to this trial, alright? In the first phase of this one is actually the most difficult. This trial is backwards as far as the rest of the in-game content, in my opinion, alright? In this trial, the further you get into it, the easier it becomes, alright? The most difficult stuff in this trial is phase 1, then phase 2. Once you get to phase 3, in my opinion, you pretty much got this thing like done, like it's over with. But let me go ahead and break down the explanation for you folks, alright? So how you going to complete this trial? First of all, when you get Tilith down to 80%, she's going to bring out Lugina and Paris, alright? I'm going to let you know what you need to worry about Lugina and Paris first and foremost, okay? When she brings them out, I highly recommend you focus on taking care of Lugina first. There's only a couple things you need to worry about with Lugina. First, when you get him to 50% HP, he's going to use a move called Grand Hazard. It is a flat 50,000 damage attack, alright? And he's going to use it on whichever one of your units has the highest attack. So make sure you take note of that, alright? Whichever unit has the highest attack, that's who he's going to hit with the Grand Hazard. The only other time you have to worry about Lugina is when he hits Overdrive, alright? He's going to use Overdrive when he gets down to 20% HP, I want to say. Or it's a couple variables. I believe it's either when he gets to 20% HP, when Tilith gets to less than 10% HP. Alright, he's going to use Overdrive. 2 turns later, he's going to use his UBB, which is a super powerful single target attack. You can basically stop it by cursing him, alright? If you hit him with the curse status effect, it will completely negate his Overdrive, alright? He won't be able to do nothing about it. Now, what you need to worry about as far as Paris goes, alright, really on Paris, the only thing you need to worry about is her Overdrive, alright? Paris, for sure, she goes into Overdrive once she hits 20% of lower HP. The next turn she will use her UBB. The only way to cancel it is by using your entire squad's BB, SBB, all 6 of them, alright? You gotta unleash 6 BBs, SBBs, or UBBs, whichever you got, okay? It will negate her Overdrive from happening, alright? Now you kinda have to plan carefully, because the way this battle works, and you may end up getting into phase 2 with Paris still alive, so you want to be careful, alright? The only things you need to worry about with Tilith, when she says the white hemisphere has begun to shine, make sure you only use 2 BB/SBBs, alright? Don't use any more than that. If you do, she is going to recover 500,000 HP for everyone on her squad, alright? You don't want to do that. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you're going to end up prolonging the battle, which we don't want to do, okay? She has a move called Pure Innocence. She uses it at 60% HP on the unit with the highest HP, and it is a very powerful attack, alright? Even with mitigation alone, it still does 80% of a unit's HP in damage, alright? So be careful. At 40%, she's going to use it again on the unit with the highest attack, and then at 20%, she's going to use it on the unit with the highest defense and the lowest HP, alright? Now you see here we're already in phase 2. Once you get her down to 80% in phase 2, she is going to bring out Saria and Carl, alright? The main things you need to worry about with Tilith in phase 2 is at 80% she brings out Saria and Carl. At 60% she's going to use another Pure Innocence, the very powerful single target attack, on the unit with the highest HP, alright? And at 20% she's going to use it again on the unit with the highest attack and lowest HP, alright? The things you need to worry about with the other 2 subunits. Now, one thing I want to be mindful about in this video, if you pay attention, I got everything to line up perfectly with Tilith and Paris. And what I mean by that, Paris is in Overdrive, alright? When Paris uses Overdrive, you have to negate it by using all your units BB and SBB, alright? I lined it up perfectly with Tilith because during her entire phase 2, You can only use up to 4 BBs and SBBs, all right, until a message comes up saying the radiant hemisphere has begun to shine. That is the only time you can use all the BBs and SBBs, okay? And I got that to line up perfectly this time with pairs, which is great. All right, so I was able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone by doing that. It was absolutely fantastic to make that happen, okay? So that is going to be difficult to do, guys. If you can line them up perfectly, it will help greatly. But usually when you start this battle, it's going to be turn 1 use 4 BB SBBs, turn 2 use 4 again, turn 3, and if you can get Paris past her 20% threshold right on that 3rd turn, which would be excellent, because then you'll be able to kill 2 birds with 1 stone like I did. All right, but let's go ahead and get into what you need to worry about with Saria. All right, honestly, the only thing you need to worry about with her is overdrive. All right, now Saria's, I don't believe you can cancel her overdrive. Right, the main thing you just got to do is just straight up kill her before she uses it. So when you see her going to overdrive, if possible, try to nuke the heck out of her. All right, if she hits you with it, don't worry, it's honestly not that difficult or not that hard hitting of a overdrive. All right, so it's not the end of the world if you do taste it, but try to negate it if you can. All right, now with Carl, Carl can inflict paralysis. All right, he's the only unit out here that can inflict the status ailment, but he can inflict paralysis. No other units really inflict anything. No sickness, no curse, no injury. You don't have to worry about any of that. All right, now with Mr. Carl, he's not very hard hitting either. The only thing you have to worry about with him really when he goes into overdrive, he's the same as Paris. You can negate it by using all 6 units, BBs and SBBs, all right? And then you'll go ahead and knock that out. Now, we just entered phase 3 with Tilith, all right? Phase 3 is the easiest, all right? Honestly, it's the easiest thing ever. So what you have to do in phase 3, all right? You can go ahead and just start wrecking her with all your BBs and SBBs. You don't have to do the 4-4-6 method anymore. All right, and basically you just want to keep beating the crap out of her until you get her down to basically about 20% HP. All right, now the thing you have to be careful about, and if you have a pretty strong squad like I do, you actually won't have to worry about it at all. But once you get her below 50% HP, all right, every 12 BBs and SBBs that you use, she is going to hit one of your units, all right, with a single target attack that does 60% HP and damage and removes all buffs. All right, it's not that strong in itself, but you got to remember it removes all buffs, including mitigation. So they're going to be hitting your unit with full force for the duration of the turn, which could cause that unit to end up getting wrecked. All right. Another thing you may have to worry about, she has a pretty battle crystal kicks, all right, which will drain the BB gauges of all your units, as you just saw there. Okay, as long as you use your mitigator with the turn before, you won't really have a problem just normal attacking, because you'll still have mitigation in effect. All right. Last thing you need to worry about in this battle, once you get Tilith down to 20% HP, this is the part where you got to be careful. All right, as soon as she touches 20% HP, she's going to start collecting light within her rainbow hemisphere. Okay, what you want to do at this point, guys, UBB a unit, preferably a unit that can fill up your BB gauges. Like if you see my squad here, I have Sirius, I have Felice. All right, they both have the capability at the end of every turn to fill up my entire squad's SBB bars. Okay, you want to do that, reason being, once she starts counting down, you must use a total of at least 1 UBB and about 14 or so. It'll be, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 BBs and SBBs and 1 UBB. All right, so on the first turn, use UBB, and for the rest of the duration, make sure you use a BB and SBB. What you want to do is break this rainbow hemisphere ordeal she has going on. All right, if you don't break it, she's going to heal a ton of HP, and you're gonna have to pretty much drain her back down to below the HP threshold in order to start everything over again. Now, granted, if that does happen, the amount of BBs and SBBs you use will carry over. All right, so you won't have to really count anymore. Just go ahead and use the BBs and SBBs, break it, and then take her out. All right, after that, the battle's pretty much done. All right, so Let me try to get into a quick squad explanation. Haven't even had the time to do that. All right, Felice lead mainly for the how she helps keep the BB gauges full, as well as the 50% boost all stats. All right, and it stacks with her SBB and all that, so very helpful. On Sirius, we mainly use for his UBB. All right, his attack, defense, and recovery boosts also helped us out pretty good. All right, we had my man Krantz. Krantz we use mainly for 2-turn mitigation. All right, it also helps that on SBB he heals, definitely helps out. All right, Laura, we mainly used her for the HP, the HOT, as well as HP on attack. And also my Laura has the enhancement that negates attack, defense, and recovery down, so that helps as well. We had Azami mainly for status elements. All right, my Azami, she gives status elements on BBSBB, and she also has the status element counter attack enhancement, which helps a lot. All right, and then we had one more out there, I can't remember, but later guys.